tonight is called, hot off the press here, slow cooker Parmesan herb chicken and orzo. Well, wouldn't you know it, I didn't even read what the recipe was called because I did not buy orzo. You know how I do. I just look at the picture and think, I think I have that stuff. It's a very bad habit, but at the same time, it just works out. I thought it was brown rice. So I bought, actually I thought it was wild rice. Oh boy, was I wrong. And I didn't even buy wild rice. I bought brown rice medley, which what the heck is that? Who knows? So we're just going to make it work. Also, I'm not really following the instructions, but like, have we met? Because I never do. It's a slow cooker recipe. I'm not going to use my slow cooker, but you do need some Parmesan cheese, an onion, Italian seasoning, which is what really got me sold on this recipe, some chicken stock or chicken broth, whatever you have. If you don't have it, I'm sure. Oh, bouillon. Everyone has that. Well, I don't, so I don't know. You need a little bit of garlic, which I minced mine all by myself. Can you believe it? I basically have Martha Stewart on speed dial. Or she has me on speed dial because I am her up and coming. That doesn't make sense. Okay, Brussels sprouts. The recipe calls for mushrooms. I'm not a big fan. And I'm gonna need something green in this recipe. So I've got some Brussels sprouts. I've actually had them for a while. One reason I love them is because they stay good for a long time. They don't go bad very quickly. And we have some butter. Yes, this is how I store my butter. Guys, it's a representation of my life. A mess. I also have some chicken in my sink that's been thawing out, so you're gonna need some of that. Per the usual, I'm using the recipe as a guideline, clearly in this case, mostly because I'm not using my slow cooker. So if you're following the recipe, it says to brown the chicken on the stovetop just for a few minutes, sprinkle it with the Italian seasoning. Yeah, I'm not doing that. I would have to do it in 2 batches. Also, it says you need like 4 to 6 chicken thighs, which I think would be fantastic for this recipe, but mostly because chicken thighs are just juicy and moist and they just taste so much better. I mean, they have a higher fat content, so if you're watching calories or whatever, use chicken breast, you can totally use that. Or pork chops even, I don't, use what you have, you know what I mean? Sprinkle with a little bit of Italian seasoning, my favorite spice. How much does it say? 3 teaspoons. Well, we need more, don't we? That's about right. Oh my gosh, is this good? I am so impressed with myself. Do you see this? I made this with my bare hands and my food processor, so it's really not that impressive. I did a meal prep if you're interested in looking at that. That's where I made this. Anyway, it says a little bit of garlic. How much garlic? Am I putting this in the right thing? It's gonna burn. It's probably gonna burn. Don't put garlic on it yet. Maybe use garlic powder. It'll be fine, we'll be fine. And then you throw salt and pepper on both sides, which I guess I should be seasoning both sides, but I'm not. Well, there's that. And then pepper, great. I'm also going to throw a few pats of butter on the chicken as well, for a few reasons. It'll give it a nice color on it, and it'll keep it moist. And no one wants dry chicken, am I right? Yes, I am. That's good enough. And I'm gonna throw this into a 411 degree oven. Guys, I'm such a professional. Mostly because my oven is broken. You guys know that by now. I'm not buying a new one, I don't care. You can do 425 if you want, 375, just depending on how much time you have, okay? If you cook it at a nice high temperature, it'll get, you know, golden brown. And color means flavor, okay? I am going to cut up my veggies. I'm just gonna dice up my onion, just a medium-sized onion, and then, you know what? I am going to try to shred my Brussels sprouts because I do want to add them to the rice, but I don't want them to be like thick and chunky. You know what I mean? I know you guys have seen me cut onions 1,000 times, but you know what? When I used to watch Rachel Ray when I would get home from high school, 30-minute meals was my absolute favorite show. I would watch her all the time, and I really enjoyed watching her cut onions and vegetables and that kind of stuff. So I figured, maybe you wanna watch me do that too. Same for the sprouts. Listen, you can use any vegetable that you want. Again, oh crap, I'm shredding these, aren't I? Well, that's gonna take more time than I allotted myself. You know what? This is good enough. I wonder if I can put them in my food processor. I think, oops, I need those. I'm cutting on the wrong side. I think I have an attachment on my food processor that I can like shred stuff with. I haven't fully figured that out yet. So, you know what? I do really enjoy, you know, doing it by hand, okay? Makes me feel like a professional, which is exactly what I am. moving to the stovetop. Am I completely out of oil? Ugh. You know, I was just at Trader Joe's and I didn't buy any. Doesn't this make you laugh? Costco portions are just so funny. Okay, ooh, that was way too much. A little bit of oil, or you can use butter. Or you know what, even to cook vegetables, you can use water. Just a splash of water if you don't want to add the calories of oil. I'm bad at that. And plus I like the flavor that it adds. Normally I use olive oil. Okay, anyway, just cook your vegetables. You want a nice hot pan. This was not hot enough. You also need a cup of, well, the recipe calls for a cup of mushrooms. I used more than a cup of Brussels sprouts, but I just, you know, you gotta shove vegetables down your kids' throats, you know? We also wanna season this up with a little bit of salt and pepper as well. And hey, why not? Add some Italian seasoning to that. That's what I call the trifecta. And then just let this cook down for, I don't know, until it's cooked, you guys, 5 minutes or so. Okay, so I'm moving a little out of my comfort zone for this. Normally, okay, since it's a slow cooker recipe, I was going to add the rice to this, but I don't want my vegetables to get mushy, so I brought out a whole other pot that I'm gonna have to wash. And apparently the ratio for this slow cooker is 2.5 cups. My goodness, 2.5 cups of liquid for every 1 cup of this mixture. Great. Smells like bird food. Oh, hamster food even. Give that a nice mix. Okay, I'm gonna add more. Double the portions. I got a lot of people to feed, okay? Was I supposed to rinse this? It's a little too late, I guess. Oh, wow, okay, this is healthy stuff. It's long grain brown rice, black barley, and then radish seeds. Like, will you look at how much is left in the bag? What am I saving that for? No good reason. And that's how we cook. The chicken is done, or at least I hope so. I'm pretty notorious for undercooking my chicken. It looks done anyway. If you can tell, I definitely burnt the garlic, but it's like, whatever, no big deal. Also, it's a lot of seasoning on that chicken, but it's gonna be great. It's gonna taste great. I hope so. Oh my word, you guys. Here I am, digging into the chicken, making sure it's done, realizing I forgot a very crucial component to our slow cooker Parmesan herb chicken in Orzo, the Parmesan. Basically the only ingredient that I have that's in the title. So I don't know, just plop a bunch of cheese on top of the chicken. How much do we need? A couple handfuls. Oh yeah, that looks much better. Okay, now we pop it back into the oven just until the cheese is melted, or the broiler if you're fancy. Well, doesn't that look better? It smells better, I'll say that. Oh my gosh, it smells like Carrabba's up in here. I doubt they sell something like this or serve something like this at Carrabba's, but the Parm cheese, or am I thinking of Olive Garden? One of those restaurants has a lot of Parmesan cheese, and I would like to go there and bathe in it. I don't go out to eat a lot though. The rice is still cooking, and I'm not sure my kids are gonna eat this, so I think we have some leftover white rice I'm gonna grab. Here is the final product. I think it looks pretty impressive plated. I just mixed in the veggies with the rice, and then I threw the chicken right on top of there. Looks delicious. We're gonna have a taste, and then I'll let you know my thoughts. So at this point, I made this dinner. It feels like 4 years ago, okay? I have no idea whether or not I liked it. I do remember eating it and then having leftovers. I will say, I don't think I was a huge fan of that wild rice mixture. I'm just a basic girl. I like plain old rice. I did like, though, the veggies mixed in. That was delightful. So give it a try. So I figured I would share dinner tonight with you. And on the menu tonight is Mediterranean stuffed zucchini boats. The keen. I've made these before, not this recipe. And obviously I'm not following this recipe. I never do. Have we met before? It's, I think, a meatless meal, but I'm adding sausage because I thought it out and I thought it was in the recipe, so we're just gonna use it. Zucchini, some red onion. I'm just adding spinach because I have a little bit left in the bag and I wanna use it. This is my life. Yes, Meredith? You want me to pick you up? Say up, up. You also need some feta cheese, some grape tomatoes, which I typically don't enjoy, but if they're in the oven, I kind of like them. And then some seasonings, garlic powder, and Italian seasoning. Nice and simple. Let's do it. I'm just gonna cut these zucchini open. This recipe says not to pre-cook it in any way. However, I don't follow recipes, and my old recipe says to pre-cook them, and those always turn out great. What you want to do is just carve out the inside, kind of make a little boat for the filling to go into. I don't know what other recipes say to do, but it doesn't say to do anything with this stuff. What I do with it, because I'm not about to throw this away, it's perfectly good zucchini, I just take it and cut it up and then add it to my rice mixture, bulk it up a little bit. Oh, I said rice, but I'm cooking quinoa, and what that is a seed, and it's just a little healthier. You can totally do rice if your family likes that. To be honest, my family would probably like it more. But sometimes I have to make what I want to eat. You know what I mean? I eat plenty of pizza for them. I'm just saying.
What are you guys doing?
My big helper, my sous chef. I'm thinking this cutting board is more decoration than an actual cutting board. Oh wait, I don't need this first. All right, what are we doing first over here? I'm gonna start with the delicious part now. My zucchini's in the microwave. You can probably hear it slapping around in there. Oh, sick. I just throw it in the microwave for, what did I put, 7 minutes or something? Just to soften it up, maybe 10 minutes if I take it out and it's still really hard. I'm just gonna brown up the sausage and then add some stuff to it. And I guess I'm gonna dirty a whole other cutting board over here to cut up these tomatoes. Should I wash them first? Fine. Are you happy? I'm not. Ugh, I don't even like tomatoes. Oh, you know what I do have that I never get to use? A tomato knife, just for tomatoes. Still doesn't work that great. You know what I miss? Infomercials. I used to watch late night, early morning infomercials all the time. That's what I miss about cable. I used to watch those knife infomercials. Ugh, amazing, right? The sausage is cooking and I'm just gonna dump in the onion. I'm not sure how much to use at this point. I'm not even looking at the recipe. I would normally put in like a full onion, but it called for red onion? I don't know, that just seems weird to me. That seems like enough. While that is continuing to cook, I'm going to add all of the zucchini innards. Ah, shoot. I just spilled my salt and pepper. Okay, a little bit of salt, a little bit of, that's a lot of pepper. At this point, I've just deviated completely from the recipe. I'm gonna add the rest of the spinach, but I'm just gonna give it a rough chop here. I don't want like a whole piece of spinach hanging out of my mouth. You guys know my vibe. I'm gonna add the spinach right in here. It's pretty much done cooking. And I was going to add the tomatoes to that to cook them down, but I think I'm just gonna sprinkle them right on top. Give that a mix and it'll wilt right away. I'm gonna add the quinoa in here. Oh, beautiful. You know what? I am gonna add the tomatoes. Looks too pretty without them. I love the pop of color. They'll cook in the oven. They'll be great. Once you fill up your zucchini, you'll definitely have a lot of this left over. Of course, you don't have to cook all of this, but I have found that this makes a wonderful lunch for the next day. Okay, now comes the fun part, and as you can see, like the zucchini's soft, but it still holds its shape, which is nice. How Alex and I eat them, we just take them and like kind of use this as a vessel and a utensil all at the same time. Those look very pretty, at least I think so. I'm gonna pop these in the oven. I don't know, I have it set way too high. I would say, do like 375, 400, maybe 425. That was a lot of varying temperatures. Put until they're nice and cooked. Really, everything's cooked. Whatever, just 375, 15 minutes, how about that? Oh my gosh, here it is all cooked. It smells so good. I'll even take the tomatoes in it. Delicious. Okay, it doesn't look very pretty on this pan, but we're gonna eat it anyway. This is real life. Excuse me. Bon appetit. Much better. Tonight on the menu, I'm just gonna whip something up super quick. I know my voice sounds really off. I'm not sick. I think it's just stress. I actually completely lost my voice yesterday. It's just, you know what I mean. There's a lot going on. Everyone's fine. We're fine. We're gonna be fine. I think if I say it enough times, I'll start to believe it. I knew I just had to share this recipe with you. Here it is. If you, oh my gosh, it makes me laugh. If you want to screenshot the list of ingredients we're gonna need, super simple. You basically just cook everything up, throw it together. I mean, it's so easy. It's a soup. So let's get started. Well, I guess I can go over the ingredients with you. Yes, it's like leftover Thanksgiving over here. I don't know when you're watching this. There's, you know, a lot going on. But I've been snacking on desserts all day. trying to hide it with the healthy kale, but you can still see it. Wonderful dessert if you haven't seen my Thanksgiving cook with me. Okay, what do we need? Some chicken broth, some sausage, onion, parm cheese, garlic, it's like minced up garlic, gnocchi, and kale. Or spinach if you want spinach. Or leave it out if you don't like greens, I don't care. Can I just say this? My entire kitchen is such a disaster that I have to like clean out a space every time I have to film. Do you know what I mean? Like I had to clear this space in order to cut here. I had to clear that counter oh gosh, oh God, now I'm showing you all my demons. Okay, that's life. Life's a mess, right? This onion smells divine. I'm just chopping up my onion, dicing it up, if you will. Can you believe the onion is the only mise en place we have to do? It's so, oh, you know what? Your kale. If you have fresh kale, I bought mine in a bag because that's how I live my life. 1 pound of sausage and then 1 onion. You just cook it all up. That's a large onion. Definitely GMO. Now that everything's cooked, I'm going to add just a little bit of garlic in there. Let that cook for about, I don't know, 30 seconds. Then I learned this from the mistake I made last time when I made, I think it was like a chicken, gnocchi, spinach soup, that kind of thing. I think it was a copycat recipe. Add your gnocchi now before you add the broth, because I think I had 3rd-degree burns last time from it splashing up at me. It doesn't have to cook, obviously it's like pre-cooked. Oh, by the way, you can totally substitute this pork if you don't eat pork. You can have chicken or leave the meat out, I don't care. So I think I'm gonna need a little more broth than that, so I'm gonna go grab another can. I'm going to add 1 more can. I was talking about Thanksgiving leftovers earlier. There's only so many days you can eat Thanksgiving leftovers, am I right? That looks good. I'm just gonna add a little bit of pepper and salt. I just leave the water boiling long enough for the gnocchi to cook, and it's about 3 minutes, and then you add a cup of Parmesan cheese. I just measure with my hands. Oh, and you know what I was thinking while it was cooking? You know what a great addition would be? Potatoes. If you don't have gnocchi or don't like it, just use potato. And then, you know what I'm thinking? Well, then that's kind of like the Tuscan soup that we made not too long ago. Okay, and then you add 3 cups of kale. A 1, a 2, a 3. Oh my gosh, now it's boiling. And then just mix that in. Oh wow. Oh my God. This looks exactly like it did on Pinterest. Amazing. Well, didn't I tell you this was a super easy, quick recipe? Oh, my battery's dying. And here is the finished soup. Holy cow, I cannot wait to dig into this. Don't ask me why there's a bundle of kale right there. That's what food bloggers do. They just leave random food next to it. Is it working out for me? Does it make it look more appetizing? Probably not. Anyway, that is it. I just took a taste test. It is divine. Oh, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit more cheese on top. Oh, that is the stuff. Amazing, wonderful, bon appetit. It's a little rough. Tonight for dinner, I have something super simple planned. I found it in this cookbook. It's called Spicy Jammy Drumsticks. It is from Chrissy Teigen's cookbook. This one, Hungry for More. Gorgeous. Also gorgeous. So the recipe looked super easy, and I figured that is right on my alley these days. Birthday season is doing me in, and typically I am just throwing dinners together. Like last night, I should have filmed it. We just had, in the Instant Pot, I threw in frozen chicken, a can of enchilada sauce, and then some seasonings, and called it chicken tacos. We served it with some veggies and rice, frozen veggies, because who has time to chop stuff up? So this is another, I feel like it'll just take me 5 minutes to throw together, and then, you know, dinner is served kind of thing, frozen veggies. Like a 15-minute type of meal. So basically, this is all you need: some drumsticks, an onion, garlic, red crushed pepper flakes, unless you don't like them, and then don't use them. And then I have this apricot jam, which I used in a recipe some time ago, but I guess I only needed like a tablespoon. Did I ever use it? And let's see if it pops. Oh yeah, it's definitely open. I don't even think it was closed all the way. So I must have used it for something, again, I don't remember what. How much do we need? 1 cup. Okay, that's a hefty amount. I know some recipes that call for like 2 tablespoons. So what do you do with the rest? Anyway, I had this, I need to use it up. That's the main motivator for this recipe. We'll see how it turns out. I also don't think I mentioned, instead of apricot jam, if you don't like that, you can use peach, the recipe states. And I'm just gonna get started by Oh wait, how do we cut this? Slices, I think. Thinly sliced. All right, let's do that. And this is one thing that one time I did this in a meal prep. I prepped my onions and it saved me so much work because almost every night I cook with onions because they're delicious. But I do think next time I do a meal prep, good, I can't get a good grip on this. I will prep some onions because I do like that. Or I think I'll throw them in the freezer too. I don't know. All right, now that our onions are sliced, let's bring this party to the stovetop. We got a party going on around here. Let's celebrate. Okay, so what you're going, I'm so weird. You're going to put 3 tablespoons of oil. I don't know what kind of oil. It says it's extra virgin olive oil. That's what it says on the label, but I'm pretty sure, is that 3 tablespoons? That's like half a cup. I'm pretty sure I replaced it with some vegetable oil. It's like, you know, use whatever you have. Oh, man. Well, you know what? Do what I say, not as I do. You're supposed to wait until the pan is nice and hot. That's how you cook really nice onions, but it'll be fine. That's a lot of oil. Salt and pepper for your oil and onions. What else do I add? Okay, here is where the recipe gets crazy, right in the beginning. 15 cloves of, what the heck? Oh, what is wrong with my life? Are you kidding me? 15 cloves of garlic, guys. How did that even happen? Oh, that is my life. All day, every day, that is my life. Okay, 15 cloves of garlic. I feel like that's a bit much, even for me. And my pores ooze garlic. I'm just gonna add that much. Maybe a little more. Maybe a little more. 15 cloves, good golly. My kids would not eat it. All right, so you just cook this down. Easy peasy. So, you know how I do. I'm finally reading through the recipe in the middle of actually cooking it. And it says I'm supposed to cook these onions for 20 minutes. No. I will say it smells amazing. The onion, the garlic, the oil, this combo really works. It's revolutionary, I tell you. Anyway, as you can see, my knife cut skills are on par with all of the other food professionals. We'll work on that later, but I don't know, it's been like 10 minutes and I'm impatient, so I am just, I mean, they look translucent, they look nice and golden, perfect to go. I am going to add 1 cup of the apricot jam, nice, and a teaspoon of crushed red pepper flakes. And I normally omit this from recipes because my kids are a bunch of wimps. I mean, they can take heat, actually. I don't know. They're fine. But I figured, Chrissy Teigen, isn't she known for being like the cool mom? I figured if she feeds this to her kids, I can feed it to mine and they'll be just fine. I also feel like there has to be a little bit of heat to balance out the sweetness. Do I need more jam than this? Probably not, but what am I gonna do with the rest of this? I think Rachel Ray has a good like bottom of the jar recipe that I could use. Maybe I'll save it for another recipe. You know what, I'm gonna save it. It's gonna sit in my fridge for probably 8 months before I do something with it. Ooh, this smells delicious. While the rest of the jam is melting, I'm just going to layer the drumsticks in my pan. And let me just tell you something right now. If you cook, is this a small pan? I don't think this is an 8x13. Whatever, it's what I grabbed, it's what I'm using. Is it an 8x13? I'm questioning everything in my life these days. Anyway, if you don't want to go through the hustle and bustle of making that jam onion sauce, don't do it. Can I tell you, my kids absolutely love drumsticks. When I cook them in an oven, probably 425 degrees, and all I do to them is put on salt and pepper and a little bit of olive oil, they gobble them up. I'm not kidding. They come out nice and crispy and super delicious. I'm just gonna put a little bit of oil on them. I'm supposed to season them first? I don't know. It'll be fine. A little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. The recipe actually says to layer the sauce before you do that, and then it says to like roll them around, but this is hot. And I don't feel like washing my tongs, so I'm just gonna do this action. Oh yeah. The lazy way. This smells so good. It's kind of like a sweet and sour sauce. It's kind of what it smells like. I don't even like sweet and sour sauce. Oh my God, it smells so good. It smells so much better than I thought it would. I probably should have put like non-stick spray at the bottom. Would it matter at this point? Probably not. Holy cow. I mean, somebody. Is anyone in contact with the Food Network already? Tell them about me, okay? Look at this, even raw. Looks delicious. Let's see what the recipe says. 35 to 40 minutes, 425 degrees. Okay, so while the chicken cooks, I figured we would work on the side dish, and in the same cookbook, I found a very similar, oh, look at her again. Gorgeous. So a while ago, someone recommended that I try out this recipe for Parmesan chicken breast, but I make Parmesan chicken breast all the time. It's like, who cares? But I found this recipe for garlicky sauteed spinach, and it has basically the same ingredients minus the marmalade or jam, whatever. And I figured it would marry the ingredients together, so we're gonna whip these up. Seems pretty simple. All right, I feel like this is deja vu. We're gonna start out again with, for real this time, half a cup, not half a cup, quarter cup of oil, which is 4 tablespoons. I feel like that's a bit extreme, so that's probably a quarter cup actually. And then some garlic. It says 4 cloves. So I'm just gonna use the rest of whatever I have. Also, I have so many dishes in my sink, it's ridiculous. These are clean. This is from last night. I told you, Instapot meal. Okay, I let the garlic infuse in the oil for a little bit. It smells so magical. There is something so wonderful about simple ingredients coming together. Real ingredients. Okay, and then you pop in the spinach. If you want to cut it up, I don't really care to. You need 1 pound of spinach. This is actually almost half of it, but just wilt it down in batches. This might be all I'll make, I don't know. Oh, and then you top it off with a little bit of red pepper flakes. Cool, cool, cool. I'm sure you could cook this with just water as well, water and garlic. That's what I normally cook my spinach with, because I feel like the oil leaves like a, I don't know, like a residue in my mouth when I eat it, and I'm not a huge fan of that. I am a huge fan of spinach though, so we'll see, we'll see. But if you wanted to cut down on the calories, I figured I would mention the water bit. You don't need oil. There it is, all finished. Looks nice and beautiful. Give you a close-up shot, tone it down. All right, I think I'm gonna have to take a little chef's taste test just to make sure everything is good. And fun fact, this is actually 17 bags of spinach. Okay, here we go. It's nice. I must have missed the red pepper. Ooh, no, I taste it now. All right. You know what I like to do with my spinach? Add a little bit of citrus. I normally add a little bit of, ooh, that red pepper flake. That brings a nice little tickle, you know? It does taste good. Yeah, I would definitely make this again. Super simple. This is how I normally make it, just without the red pepper flake. Garlic, well, water, and then spinach. Delish. And then sometimes I add lemon if I have it. So that's a good addition too. Adds a little bit of brightness. Okay, somebody call Chrissy Teigen. Tell her she's a genius. I actually haven't bitten into it yet, but doesn't it look delicious? I especially like the burnt bits. A part of me wants to throw it back in the oven for a little bit longer. It's been in there for about 40 minutes. Oh, it smells good. Oh my, you see that steam? Oh yes, that I'm ready to eat. A bon appetit, everybody. Look how delicious this looks. I can't wait to bite into it. 2 super simple weeknight recipes. Fast and easy and delicious. Taste test. And by fast, I mean fast prep takes about an hour in the oven. 30 minutes. Unbelievable. Delicious. Also, serve with some rice. I think I have some in the fridge, actually. I might pop some in the microwave real quick. And actually, I know I have rice. Yes, because I made 4 cups last night, and we definitely didn't eat it all. I always like to make a lot of rice and then just have it ready to eat. Oh my gosh, for moments like this. Let me eat the skin. Let me just eat my entire dinner with you. Forget about my family. Oh yeah. That's some good stuff. Oh my, I gotta stop myself. I gotta stop. I can't stop it. This is delicious, super simple, highly recommend. If you make this, guaranteed 3 Michelin stars. Also, I just wanted to point out, look how much juice is left over, and that is what we'll be dumping all over the rice. Oh, delicioso. Thank you so much, Chrissy Teigen. Oh my word, you guys. So much to say. This video is like 2 years in the making. It is now after Christmas. I will hopefully post this very soon. I actually made a lasagna for Christmas, which is what I'm making tonight for dinner. Made a lasagna for Christmas. First time I've ever done that. I think made a lasagna, just period, let alone for Christmas time. I am Italian. It is a welcomed Christmas dinner. But as I was making it, I thought, this is so simple. Does everyone know how to make lasagna? Because I didn't know. And the secret lies in the sauce. And as you can see, I'm using my secret family recipe for the sauce. I always doctor sauces up. And for Christmas, I actually made my own sauce. But you know what? You take shortcuts when you can. Also, speaking of shortcuts, don't waste your time pre-cooking your noodles. Who has time for that? Especially when they sell oven-ready lasagna. Probably one of the best inventions ever made. I actually think I have 2 boxes of this. Oh no, where is it? Okay, here it is. Looks like a rat got into it. A rat named Wentworth or Meredith. I don't know which one. This is actually leftover. It takes 1 box of noodles, but I make mine, I like add a couple extra layers because more is more. So this is actually open and I'm just going to probably need a couple of sheets out of here. Oh, what else do we need? Parsley. I made it without parsley last time, so I figured, I don't know, I'll just add it this time because I had to run to the store for something else. Oh, for the cheese, ricotta cheese. You also need Parmesan, mozzarella. Oh, what is this? Oh, cookie dough that I've just been munching on. It's like no big deal. You want to hear about all my secrets? I have a problem. And then I have some sausage, pork sausage. It's like Italian, whatever. Use spicy if you want it. And then I usually use, what's the red meat? Oh my gosh, what is it called? Cow, beef, ground beef. But listen, my brain doesn't work, okay? I'm on like decompression mode. It's a problem. I have ground beef, but I've had this in my freezer for quite some time, ground turkey, so I need to use it up. I just thawed it out. And then, of course, my secret blend of spices. Let's whip it up. You know what? I used to use ground turkey for everything. And then I think with my pregnancy with Meredith, typically during my pregnancies, I eat red meat, mostly because I crave it and that's what we do. And then when I'm not pregnant, I just replace it with ground turkey again. But this time around, I kind of didn't. Probably help if I turned the stove on. I am just browning up some ground meats. I really like to add the sausage. You don't have to. You can use whatever pasta sauce you like. This is just what I like. I think the pork really adds a ton of flavor. If you want to, oh! No, I'm adding more to this time. If you want to add fennel and stuff, you go ahead and do that. The sausage has the fennel in it, and I just think it adds a tremendous flavor, and that's why I really like it. But what I'm going to add to this one also is, let me cut it up real quick before this starts cooking. Hold down. Okay, so I'm just gonna cut up an onion, this crazy looking pepper. Do you see this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 feet over here. Now the rule of thumb, oh, I'm also gonna chop up some spinach too. And if my kids say, ooh, the spinach, I'm just gonna tell them it's parsley. I don't even care. I chop it up so small, that's my secret. Chop it up really small so your kids, 1, don't really notice it. And 2, if they do notice it, it's too small for them to pick out. With the peppers, I wanted to mention, so normally there's 2 different kinds of like bell peppers, one with 3 feet on the bottom and one with 4 feet. And I think the one with 4 feet is like female, and it's considered to be a little more sweet. So this one's got 6 feet. It must be adorable. I also know when people make tomato sauces, they sometimes add sugar. Do you do that? I do not. Not my style. I'm gonna take this over to my sauce and add the spinach at the end. Okay, now the party can start. I will add a little bit of salt and pepper to the veggies. So while the meat is cooking over there, I'm just gonna get my cheese layer really started. Fun fact, my whisk broke yesterday, or one of my whisks broke, and then the other day I was mixing something and my spatula just cracked off. Like, what is happening? Do I have superhuman strength or something? It's ridiculous. I don't abuse my utensils. I do use them. Used, not abused. I tend to double this layer with whatever recipe. Where's my recipe? Hold on. Okay, I found it. I actually looked at 17 different recipes online, and that's what I normally do. And then I just kind of go with whatever I like best and kind of create my own. And also I feel like lasagna is kind of the meatloaf of Italian cuisine. Unless meatloaf is Italian cuisine, then I don't know, don't listen to me. 1.5 cups of cheese, but like I said, I'm doubling, so I'm just gonna add like 3 cups of cheese in here. And that's like, I don't know, 4 of my handfuls or so. And then 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese, but I'm gonna do 1/2 cup. It's a lot of cheese. But another great reason to make this, because I have so much cheese left over from like I bought for Christmas appetizers and desserts that I never really made. Well, mostly appetizers. What dessert has cheese? A good one. Oh, and then parsley. Cool. Oh, here's my knife. I was looking all over for it. Found this one. Okay, how much parsley? Well, it doesn't say. I'm just gonna do a nice little... Oh gosh, this stuff smells like grass. I don't know if I like it yet, but the recipe calls for it. Like I said, I didn't use it last time. I just used Italian seasoning, and that was good enough. I don't know. But I thought, try to fancy it up a little bit. Fresh herbs always seem to elevate a dish. Well, that's a lot of parsley. Well, it's a lot of cheese. If you don't have parsley, just go get some lawn clippings. That's what it smells like to me. You know how some people are offended by cilantro? I feel like I'm kind of offended by parsley. Is that blasphemous? Like, how can I be Italian and not like parsley? I don't know, you know? I am who I am. So I'm just gonna mix this up, and this is our cheese mixture. That's it. I know, that's it. So simple. No skill involved at all. Okay, back to the Wizard of Oz over here. I think it's all cooked and ready for some sauce. Okay, I got some frozen spinach I just chopped up real small. No one will even know, but their bodies will know and say, thank you for the nutrients. Oh, my hands are wet. There it goes. Okay. 2 jars of pasta sauce. Oh gosh, it smells like it barely has any seasoning at all. It smells like oh, what's that stuff? It comes in a can and it's like Spaghetti-O. That's what it smells like. I just always add a little bit of water to the jar and shake it up. And there we go. Aw, man. Why is my life the way that it is? Ow! I do add a hefty amount of Italian seasoning. I think I'm also going to add some crushed red pepper flakes. This is what I like about Costco's lasagna, is that it has a little zing to it. Also some garlic powder. I do have some fresh garlic over here. I'm done chopping stuff up. Actually, I might add more because that was barely enough. Let's see. Let's just see what it tastes like. Oh yeah, doesn't that look good? It does to me. A little taste test. Needs a little more salt. Try again. I think I was like, oh, that's salty. It's because I had salt like completely coating my hands. Let's try again. Like a true chef. Oh my God, that's delicious. Done. I've got my little stations going on over here. This is a ton of sauce. You may not use it all, but that just means you have one more night of meals prepped if you just want to make like spaghetti one night. I don't know, put it in the freezer or something. The noodles and then the cheese mixture. And away we go. The recipe says about a cup at the bottom. I don't measure. I assume this ladle is about 1/2 cup. Oh, I will mention, this is a crowd pleaser, and which is a really good thing because we have taken home a few cousins after the Christmas holiday. We like to do that, and so I am feeding a crowd over here. Well, really, my family on any given day is a crowd, am I right? Just smear the cheese mixture on top of this. Also, I feel like this would be great for like freezer meals, or if you're meal prepping, oh my gosh, this would be fantastic. Then you just top it with, you guessed it, even more cheese. Delicious. And I was thinking, isn't there someone in your family, and I feel like this happens with every family. It's like, so-and-so has the best lasagna. And then there's that argument like, oh, well, her lasagna is not that great. My lasagna is better because XYZ. I feel like that happens with every family, and I love it. I'm here for it. I'm a big competitor. I'm just adding Parmesan cheese now, and then I'm gonna throw it into the oven. I have it at 411 because my oven's broken, but you do what you want, and I don't know, probably about an hour. If it starts to get too brown on top, just cover it with some foil. Are you kidding me right now? Look how delicious this looks. Ooh, I like the crusty, hard cheese bits. That's one of my favorite parts. This looks incredible. Look at the mountains. The mountains of cheese, of lasagna. First of all, this is massive. This will feed your family all week long, or if you're like me and have extra kids over, listen, kids eat me out of house and home. Hopefully this will last one meal. Look at those layers. I am so impressed with lasagna. This is like a secret I never knew about. So I hope you try this out. Let me know if you have a favorite lasagna recipe. Oh wait, one more bit, hold up. And since I'm so fancy and have fresh herbs readily available, straight from my garden, I am just going to cut this basil up. Oh my gosh. I mean, is it really lasagna without fresh basil? Yes, it is. I'm just going to sprinkle it all over the top. Oh, it just elevates it. Next level. Am I right? Perfect. Perfection does exist. It's right here in my kitchen. There it is. Wow. I'm gonna let this rest for a little bit before I cut into it, just so it doesn't like slop everywhere. Here it is. I took a little sneak bite just before dinner. I made this earlier in the day because once witching time comes around with this many kids around, it's a lot. So it was delicious. I will tell you that. Would recommend. All right, I always like to share a dessert recipe with you, and I found this one looks pretty simple. It is 3 ingredients: chocolate, Reese's, and sweetened condensed milk. So we're basically making Reese's fudge. And after I made my fudge in my Christmas Bake With Me recipe, I got so many comments about an easier way to make fudge, or because I made it with Velveeta cheese. I know, sounds weird, but since, ooh, there's still water in here. I just washed it out. Whatever, it'll be, well, will it be fine? I don't know. Let's do things right, Kim. Let's dry it out. Anyway, I feel like I will compare tasting the Velveeta fudge to this fudge, and then I can give you my honest opinion. 3 cups of chocolate chips. Perfect. And then a couple for the chef. And then we throw in 1 can of sweetened condensed, what is this, milk. So no weird Velveeta cheese in this one. Also, a ton of you always ask me about this can opener. I love it. I love it so much. It's Swiss. I will try to link it below if I can remember. It doesn't leave any sharp edges on the cans, so it's great. All right, let me just pour this as much as I can. Get that money shot. Yeah. Man, if this doesn't get your salivary glands, am I watching too much Vampire Diaries? Salivary glands. There it is. My brain does work sometimes. If this doesn't get your salivary glands going, man, you need to call the doctor. Get a checkup. So just throw this in the microwave, melt it for 30 seconds at a time, and then we're gonna stir it. 30 seconds later. 30 seconds later. 30 seconds later. I think this is the right consistency. Anything more than this and I'm gonna just scorch it. So what we're going to do right now is take an 8x8 dish, and I'm going to happily unwrap however many Reese's cups it takes to fill the bottom of this dish. Ooh, these are little baby Reese's. I don't know if I bought enough. I thought I would have some left over to eat, but it's not looking that way. Great. Now I'm going to pour the fudge over top. I'm gonna do my best to pour. It's pretty thick. Well, maybe I'll just plop it. And that looks good. Plop it right over top. Ooh, let me just test it like this. It's all right. Tastes like chocolate. Tasting it just like this, I would say Velveeta Fudge wins. I know, are you shocked? However, I think the Reese's flavor is really gonna take this one to the next level. Also, I'm going to have to raid their Halloween candy to see if I can find any more Reese's. And yes, we still have their Halloween candy. I'm not really sure what to do after this step. I don't know. I don't think I bake it. I think I just put it in the fridge until it's hardened up. So I'm gonna do that. Coo, 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 yeah. Well, I looked in all my hidden stashes, no such luck. I mean, I found candy, but no more Reese's. I mean, obviously, because it's the best kind. So I'm just gonna, it'll be fine. Well, it'll be delicious. Okay, so I just tried a piece of the fudge. Is it good? Sure. Is it Velveeta Fudge? Nope. In my mind, Velveeta Fudge wins, but, you try for yourself. You tell me which one you like better. I will say, like I mentioned in the other video, I'm not a huge fudge person. Everyone is at the park right now, or they might be in the front of the house. I don't know. So when they come in, I'll have them take a bite and then I will maybe tell you what they think. I don't know. I'd eat like 4 pieces. But that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching and hanging out. I hope you enjoyed your time with me. Hope you got some good recipe ideas. If you did, I would love for you to stick around even more. Subscribe. Put a little happy in your day. I'll see you next time. Bye.